Hey roamers, I'm Jamie.
I'm Linda, and this is Dexter.
And this is Roaming with Rosie.
We're ready to join the throngs of people starting up the nomad life. But right now, we're roaming in southern New Mexico, exploring the possibility of relocating our home base here.
How does that make sense? This seems contradictory.
Yeah, for those of you who've just found our channel, here's a bit of the backstory.
We downsized several years ago from a large home on a large property to a tidy little home in central Arizona that was supposed to be our retirement home.
We had to get rid of about 2/3 of our stuff. Of course, at the time, we were just looking for a more simple life and didn't have any idea of traveling full-time in an RV. Now we have no debt except for a very small mortgage.
Our plan is to be renting our home to medical travelers on 90-day contracts. That way we'll be able to generate a small income from that.
So now we're ready to roam about America in our RV, which is named Rosie too, by the way, and we wouldn't have any obligations.
This way we have the peace of mind should something happen to either one of us. We have a sticks and bricks home to come back to and later retire in.
I just don't want to be old and sick and stuck in my RV in South Dakota in the winter.
We like the idea of keeping one foot in the housing market. No one knows, not even any of the nomads that we follow on YouTube, how long we're going to be doing this.
Yeah, they don't know, we don't know, and look at how many came off the road last year during COVID because they couldn't find anywhere to stay with their RVs. So
Right.
that's really been a driving piece of information for us. Another reason that we feel that we need a home base is that although Rosie 2 is in pretty good shape for an old girl, she's a little dated and we definitely want to make her our own style.
Another RV renovation means that we're going to have somewhere to park Rosie while we're doing the renovation.
Yeah, last time we found a place to finish original Rosie, but before that we were having to sneak and park in front of our house and hope that nobody called the homeowners association tattletales and such.
Right. I mean, we can only work on it a couple days at a time, and then we'd have to take it back to the storage, and then wait a little bit, and then bring it back and work on it.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we're all caught up, why are we looking at houses in New Mexico? Kind of seems opposite of our plan, right?
Right. And currently we pay $100 a month to store Rosie, whether we're parking it there or not. And unfortunately, because of our area, there's not a lot of RV spaces available because all of them are taken, so we can't risk giving up that space.
Right, and in Arizona, most houses built after 1990 come with HOAs, which is a homeowners association, for those of you lucky enough to not know what that is. The rules are mostly that you can't park anything in the street in front of your house longer than a day, and you can't park your RV in your driveway, or even if you have a big enough lot with an RV gate, you can't park it on the side of your house or in the backyard if it sticks up above the fence line in most of the new homes too.
These lovely HOA rules come with a $100 a month payment, and this entitles them to basically monitor everything you do and don't do.
Nasty grams about weeds show up like a week or even a few days after a really bad storm, which is really rare. So we have rare storms, weeds pop up, and days later you get nasty grams in the mail that you're going to
pull your weeds.
So that would mean we have to hire a landscaper if we're going to be on the road for months at a time.
Yeah, that wouldn't be doable.
And we have all rock in our front yard and trees, but the weeds can pop up through the rock.
Another reason we're looking at relocating out of Arizona is it's really becoming overpopulated. One, for the amount of water that's in the area, and then two, the average temperatures just continue to climb, so the summers are just getting hotter and hotter.
2 months ago, we decided to take a look at the state next door, New Mexico, and what it might be like to relocate our home base to there, or here, where we are right now. Last month we spent some time in north central New Mexico, and now we're exploring some of the southern parts of the state.
Our thought is to establish a home base here and eliminate the mortgage altogether.
There's very few HOAs, and when they do have them, they don't seem to have the overreaching rules here in, at least in the Las Cruces area where we are right now. When they do exist, they don't seem to prevent you from keeping your RV on your own property. And the fees we've seen have been really low. Again, when there's an HOA, it's been like $200 a year instead of $100 a month, which we're up to now in Arizona.
Right. So after spending so much time here, what do we think?
Yeah, the positives are cooler temperatures, still having the dry climate, which we prefer, and there's 4 seasons here.
Right.
So far, as predicted by those who know me, I love every area we've visited in New Mexico. I really connect with southern New Mexico, and I definitely think I could live here.
Yeah, but you say that everywhere we go.
I do, and that's part of the reason that we wanted the RV, or that I wanted the RV slow travel type of life. It was a really good solution for my desire to live everywhere I've ever visited. So.
Yeah, and I've seen a few areas here in Las Cruces that I could see myself retiring in. It's a nice area, and you know, some of the new builds and stuff that they're doing is really nice. And there's a lot of stuff that we like to do here, like hiking and being outdoors and all that kind of stuff. And the weather is a little more reasonable to be outside in the summertime than it is in Phoenix, obviously.
So what are the negatives for us having a home base in New Mexico instead of Arizona?
Well, we looked at the stats, and the overall crime rate seems to be a little bit higher here. I think part of the reason is because there's a lack of opportunity as far as work and things of that nature. But it seems like it's turning around because there's a lot of people relocating here from California and Colorado and places like that. So it seems to be changing.
Yeah, and the opportunities are for working age people here are going up now. It used to be they've got 3 or 4 major universities in New Mexico, and a lot of those students would graduate and move elsewhere for opportunities. But now the businesses around here are desperate to hire, and there's also opportunity for companies to move here because it's less expensive for them to be here as well.
Right. Another negative is that there are 37 states that don't tax Social Security, and New Mexico is not one of them.
Nope. And you also forgot snakes and scorpions. Everywhere we've looked,
Yeah, there's that, but we have that where we live. It's just,
No.
you know, not right at our house where we live. Across the lake, they have scorpions, and on our side of the lake, we don't have scorpions. So we've lucked out pretty much in that respect. But when you move into any new housing tract, you know, you're going to kick up the bugs and all that kind of stuff that used to live there. When you start bringing in houses and you know, other things like shopping centers and things of that nature, it drives that stuff away.
Yeah, that's what the salesman said yesterday. I think we've just been lucky, and I feel like one more roll of the dice in the desert, we're going to have scorpions. But now, I mean, 25 years ago, they really didn't have any good way to get rid of scorpions other than to eliminate their food and find them with a black light and smash them. But now they do seem to have some poisons that are lethal to scorpions. So there at least is hope about that. But gosh, we've just been so lucky not to have scorpions in the desert.
Right. In the meantime, we had a delay due to an unexpected potential serious health issue Linda's been dealing with for the last several months, so we had to put everything on hold.
Yeah, I've had a lot of tests. Some of them were not very fun. It's been kind of scary, but I've had a ton of support and understanding, and you do really kind of learn who you can turn to when the going gets tough, that's for sure. So for now, I was given the green light, and they'll follow up with me in December. From wherever we are, I'll fly back to Arizona, and then I'll be monitored for 2 years. So now I have to stay with my same medical providers at least through the end of this year, and we've already met our deductibles, so it just makes sense that we will go with the COBRA plan from my work for both of us through the end of the year.
Right. So now that we got the all clear, there's nothing holding us back from hitting the road full time.
Yeah, well, except fear, but everyone has that doing this. But these long trips and getting out of normal life as often as possible right now keeps putting us immediately, or especially me, back in the mode, because you're always in the mode.
Right.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. And
Right.
I'm the one that's like dotting the I's and crossing the T's, or dotting the T's and crossing the I's, whatever it takes. I just keep, having second thoughts and third thoughts. But every time we get out on the road like this, I get really excited about making our vision happen, and I don't want to go back.
And to being able to roam where we want and stay put if we find some place where we want to do a little bit more exploring.
Right. This trip was almost entirely in the Las Cruces area. However, we were able to meet up with our friends Mark Guido of Grand Adventure and his lovely wife.
Yeah, and we met up with them in Silver City, and after hanging out with them, we didn't really want to leave. We were having a really good time.
Yeah, we really, we got outdoors and just explored, and it was just really fun, which is exactly the case for why our RV lifestyle needs to be about going with the flow and longer stays if we want to, less commitments, less reservations, as much as we can make that possible.
In the coming weeks, we're going to show you videos of southern New Mexico and some of the fantastic cultural sites and some of the things that are pulling us here.
And we'll throw in updates during those episodes of what our status is.
If you enjoy our content, or if you learn anything from our videos, or if you're in tune with the way we're approaching this lifestyle, then you can support Roaming with Rosie.
It's super easy, and it won't cost you a cent. Just use our links that are down below the description in the video.
We are also Amazon affiliates, so if you use our Amazon link for your everyday purchases, we get a tiny percentage, and there's no cost to you.
Yep. And if enough of our roamers will do this, then Amazon will give us our own web store where we can more easily share with you the products that we buy for ourselves.
Right.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more,
and you're not yet a subscriber, make sure and hit that subscribe button.
And ring that bell so you'll be notified each time we upload a new video.
And make sure to leave a comment so you can be part of the conversation.
Until next time,
See ya.